$17 million being taken away from the Central Valley.
I'll have to take a look
for
at the
99
details.
and 46.
Let me take a look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to comment. I haven't had a chance to review any letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Governor Newsom signs an executive order that will cut millions of gas tax dollars from the Central Valley, and then he claims he didn't even review the order. The South Valley lawmaker who's outraged by it joins us in studio.
There's theatrics from both sides. I don't want to play the theatrics. I want to play to coming up with resolutions. We need some more maturity in Congress.
Congressman Devin Nunes could be facing an unlikely opponent in the general election. The local Democratic Party now throwing their support towards Bobby Bliatu. He joins me in studio as well. And our panel in place for the week, from Congressman Jim Costa losing ground with district delegates to the Central Valley being stripped of millions of gas tax dollars. It's all on KC24 Sunday Morning Matters.
Now, from KC24, your local election headquarters, with your host, Alexan Balakian. This is Sunday Morning Matters.
And good Sunday morning to you. I'm Alexan Balakian. Thanks for joining us. And you can join the conversation at Real Alexan. Use the hashtag Sunday Morning Matters. We begin with the outrage over Governor Newsom signing an executive order diverting millions of gas tax dollars.
And one of the very first thing he decides to do is put forward an executive order, and his people at Caltrans have decided that they're going to terminate additional north and south freeway lanes on 99 in Tulare County and in Madera County. I'm almost speechless with response to this.
And that executive order Governor Newsom signed is in 1919. It calls for leveraging billions in annual state transportation funds to reduce greenhouse gases and reduce emissions. The order redirects gas tax money away from fixing local highways, stalling Highway 99 projects in Tulare and Madera counties. That totals $17 million. Our Ashley Zavala asked the governor earlier this week about the executive order he signed, and he had this to say.
$17 million being taken away from the Central Valley.
I'll have to take a look
for
at the
99
details.
and 46.
Let me take a look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to comment. I haven't had a chance to review any letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in response to the governor stripping the Highway 99 projects in Tulare and Madera counties, Caltrans releasing this statement in part saying, quote, "Those who claim the state is canceling projects funded by gas tax dollars are incorrect. Aligning climate goals with transportation goals requires new thinking, not obstructionism." And following the governor's executive order and that statement by Caltrans, local and state leaders met in Modesto on Tuesday for a hearing with the California Transportation Commission. At that meeting, South Valley State Assemblyman Devin Mathis. How are you, sir?
Alexander, great to see you.
Hey, appreciate you coming in because I want to start with this, because Governor Newsom and the comment that he made to our Ashley Zavala up at the Capitol earlier this week, saying he hadn't had a chance to review the order. How does that stick with you?
New administration. I mean, we've got, and we saw this up in Modesto, you have brand new Caltrans guys going, well, we don't know why we were told to come up with a $60 million. And you've got commissioners telling them, look, if I was your teacher, I'd give you an incomplete on this assignment. And so, and a lot of this is getting really confusing because you have the governor's executive order, which is dealing with SB1 gas tax dollars that are supposed to fix our roads. He's taking that money to do subsidized housing, so think Section 8 housing next to railway or bus station. That's not really going to help any of us, and that's not what the money's for, and that's not what the voters voted on.
And that, yeah, exactly. That's not what it was meant for, the gas tax. And that $17 million, Madera County, Tulare County, where that corridor on Highway 99, where it goes down to 2 lanes, and the hearing on Tuesday, because you guys, that's what you guys were really pointing out to the commission. I'm assuming got pretty intense with this meeting. And what do you think is going to come out of that meeting?
Well, I'll tell you what came out of it. What came out of it was the commission basically said, look, here on the Transportation Commission, we deal long term. We're not talking a year out, 2 years out. We're talking 10, 20 years out. And a lot of those guys, some of them remember being in during Governor Schwarzenegger. A lot of these road projects come from old bond money. So now you have Caltrans, new Caltrans under Newsom saying, let's take that old bond money and do something new with it, but we're not going to tell you what it is. But it's some future project, big what if, pie in the sky, but they don't know. The guy Bruce from Caltrans literally said, I don't know.
Why don't they know?
Who knows? Caltrans wouldn't give us an answer from what we're hearing from the governor. He doesn't know.
But yet they released a statement saying there needs to be a new way of thinking, not obstructionism.
Well, you know what's funny is Caltrans actually apologized to Ted Smalley, who's our Tulare County TCAT guy that does all of this, who maps these projects out. Because in Tulare County, they've actually saved money on every project that they worked on. So our guys back home are doing a great job here in the Valley. They're doing it smarter, cheaper than the other guy. But the 99, like I said up there, it's one of the largest trade corridors we have.
Also the deadliest.
And the deadliest. And I mean, anybody that goes up and down that, I go up and down it about once a week, you know, and it's like, hey, I'll see you on the other side if I make it. I mean, those are the things I said when I was in combat, not driving to work.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because Governor Newsom said at the start, the gas tax money, Prop 6, this is going to fix our roads, our bridges, our highways. Now trying to redirect the money, like you say, to the rail system near housing projects.
No, it's not to the rail system. He wants to spend it on housing.
Okay, that hasn't been clear. So are you telling me that Governor Newsom is trying to pull the wool over taxpayers' eyes?
That's what they're doing. That is exactly what they're doing. They're saying the gas tax dollars, the new thinking they want us to have is to, well, in order to save the environment, we're just going to build homes next to existing transportation lines so you can take public transportation. Well, I'm sorry. Here in the Valley, it's a rural area. And if we're going to get to and from, sometimes it's a 30-minute drive or an hour drive.
So, and I know this is almost two completely separate things, and I don't want to confuse anybody. But we know SB 1, the gas tax money, is not for high-speed rail. We know. There's a law saying no, it's not going to happen. But, and that's probably what I'm talking about. I said Prop 6 before. Prohibits the gas tax funds to go towards the high-speed rail.
Yes.
Okay, I want to be clear on that. Could there ever be a situation where Governor Newsom, where we've seen he's signed executive orders before already, could there be a merge where he's using gas tax money to say high-speed rail isn't getting the funding that we ultimately needed, let's use some of that money and put it there? Could you actually see that?
Sadly, yes. With the mega majority in Sacramento, they are able to go past the state constitution, past a ballot proposition, and do whatever they decide they want to do. So if he can get the votes in the legislature, he can do it. But I don't think the voters would be happy with that.
Well, I would say so.
But that's why you see recall ballots going out. That's why you see all these other things happening, saying, you know, he didn't listen to us on the death penalty. He's not listening to us on the gas tax. What else is he not going to listen to us on?
I want to finish with this, and I just got about a minute here. Tuesday, Governor Newsom said we should be outraged and infuriated by what PG&E is doing, the shutoffs to nearly 1 million customers. It's probably more than that because of the businesses, the homes, the hospices, the senior citizen outlets that are being affected by this in the Bay Area, Mariposa County. Is this something we're going to, are the lights going to be shut off? Is this something normal that we're going to start seeing now?
Well, that's what they're saying, right? Welcome to the new normal of a third world country here in California. The lights are out. And the lights are out because the state has done poor forestry management. That's the #1 problem. And we've got to go in there. We've got to clean up that forest. But PG&E also needs to do their part and get with 21st century technology and fix their line. So, I mean, if they don't do the power outage, they're going to get blamed for a forest fire and for, you know, like we saw this last year, where people are dying. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. The state, the federal government, the private sector, everybody needs to do their jobs and stop pointing fingers and get things done so people can have a 21st century state-of-the-art power grid that we all deserve.
All right. Assemblyman Mathis, appreciate it. Assemblyman here. And up next, more from Assemblyman Mathis on PG&E's decision to shut off the lights. We get reaction as lawmakers demand an investigation into this historic move.